Hi, everybody. Joe Cioffi here, weather in 5 days and 5 minutes on this Monday, the 21st of August. And we've seen the tropics really rev up. A week ago, there wasn't really much going on, and all of a sudden, we went through a bunch of names here E, F, and G. And we're about to go to the H storm, I think, before the day is out, or maybe before the evening is out. We have potential tropical cyclone 9 in the central Gulf of Mexico. It continues to become better organized. It hasn't completely closed off a center yet, but the convection has been increasing steadily through the morning. It's about halfway across the Gulf of Mexico already. So this is certainly it's the main consideration regarding how much time this system has before it reaches the Texas coast, because it's moving at a fairly decent clip of about 20 miles an hour. So it'll probably be on the Texas coast tomorrow morning sometime. So it's between now and then that it will see it potentially strengthen up into a tropical storm, which I think it's going to do. So it doesn't have time to become a hurricane. The main threat from this is going to be from heavy rains in South Texas and for coastal flooding. And we have tropical storm warnings that are up for the Texas coast. I'm just going to bring them up here from the Hurricane Center, and we'll take a look at what's going on. So we've got potential tropical cyclone number 9. The forecast map here, you see it by 7 a.m. Tuesday. They have it as a tropical storm right on the coast. And then inland as a remnant depression near Del Rio, Texas by Tuesday evening. It's at 25 north, 89.9 west. So it's just basically right in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. Top winds are 30 miles an hour with some gusts up and around gale force. And the blue area that you see is a tropical storm warning that we have in effect from Brownsville northeastward up through the middle part of the Texas coastal bend. So Houston is not in it, but Corpus Christi is. And again, the main issue here is going to be heavy rains and maybe some coastal flooding as the system moves inland. Meanwhile, we have Tropical Storm Franklin in the Caribbean, which is rather large and has a lot of convection with it. We continue to see the convection bursting here. There's also a little bit of shear going on, which has been limiting the amount of strengthening that this system has been able to go through so far. It's going to make a turn to the north and head for the coast of the Dominican Republic. And here, too, the big threat is going to be heavy rain, in particular because of the fact that we're talking about something that may be moving very, very slowly. And the forecast here from the Hurricane Center as we take a look. Sorry, just kind of jumping around. I got the wrong one here. All right, let's try this again. Just ad-libbing it as we go along, folks. That's just the way it is. So our forecast here for Franklin is a gradual turn to the north, maintaining tropical storm strength. We have tropical storm warnings up for the entire south coast of the Dominican Republic and for Haiti, and tropical storm watches that are up for the north coast, and also seeing some tropical storm watches that are up for the easternmost Bahamas, including Turks and Caicos Islands. So this is at 15 north and 70.1 west with top winds of 50 miles per hour and moving to the west at 6. Now, back to the weather in the east, where we've got some high clouds and sunshine, a very warm day, a very humid day, and we have the moisture from Hillary in the west that's basically coming up into the Pacific Northwest and going over the top into the Dakotas, and some of that high cloudiness streaming eastward. We do have a cold front in this mix here that is moving to the southeast, and this cold front is not going to have much to work on in spite of the high humidity. We are going to see the cold front basically move on through this evening and into the first part of tonight with maybe a shower, maybe a thunderstorm, and I think they'll be widely scattered at best, if at all. And then we will go back into a cooler, drier air mass. Now, temperatures this afternoon topping out some places upper 80s to maybe around or just over 90. The way the pattern is shaping up, it doesn't look like we're going to see 90 degrees again anytime soon, right through the next 10 days. And it's quite possible that some areas in the Northeast and the northern mid-Atlantic states, this could be the last 90-degree day of the summer season. It's been that kind of a summer, folks. The Storm Prediction Center has just a couple of areas of marginal risk in the southwest, northward into Montana. Some of that is leftover remnants from the effects of Hillary, a small area of marginal risk in Minnesota and Wisconsin, and then, of course, we have a marginal risk along the Texas coast, gearing up for potential Tropical Cyclone 9. And over the next couple of days, there really isn't a whole lot going on from the standpoint of severe weather. It's really calmed down, pretty much the same areas. A little shift eastward here in the Great Lakes. You see the marginal risk in Texas, but nothing up and down the East Coast except maybe for the coastal Carolinas in terms of just basic general shower and storm activity. And the same for Wednesday into Thursday, just areas of general thunderstorms in parts of the country, and just as many parts of the country won't be seeing anything as far as showers and storms are concerned. So we can take a look at potential Tropical Cyclone 9, which, if you believe the GFS, becomes a tropical storm. Actually, the model does strengthen it quite a bit overnight into tomorrow morning before landfall. And we've seen this happen with storms along the Texas coast because of the very warm water there. Water temperatures well up into the 80s. Sometimes these storms, under certain conditions, at the last minute can gain strength and before they move inland. So I wouldn't be shocked if this one does. And then it continues to move westward through Texas and then into Mexico, taking the rains to the west. Meanwhile, here in the Northeast, we've got the cold front tonight. You can see there's just a minimal area in southeastern New England, maybe eastern Long Island, and parts of Connecticut and the Hudson Valley, seeing a scattered shower or storm. Nice high builds in for tomorrow and Wednesday. High temperatures those 2 days will be in the upper 70s to low 80s from New England down into the mid-Atlantic states. And then that high moves out Thursday. We'll get ready for the next low coming out of the plains and moving through the Great Lakes and into the Northeast with some showers and thunderstorms perhaps late Thursday night into Friday morning. And then that front will start to push offshore. We got a big high that's building up from Canada across the Great Lakes and into eastern Canada over the weekend. So it's going to be cool, a northeast wind, and we'll have to watch to see whether if the flow is onshore enough. Initially it won't be, but later in the weekend the flow may be onshore enough that we may have to start thinking about whether there'll be some low clouds around coming in off the ocean. And you can also see on the lower right, we have Franklin that emerges on the Atlantic side, takes a turn to the northwest, passing west of Bermuda, well east of the Carolinas, and then continuing northward and making a run for Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. The models kind of went a little further east last night. Now they've kind of backed further to the west. I'm going to lean to the idea that there's a shot that this system is going to head for Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. And in the meantime, with that big high, much of the east, down into the southeast, back over into the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley could be in for some very nice weather most of the time, beginning on Saturday and lasting through the weekend and into the first part of next week. We'll be talking more about this tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show. We'll cover all of the tropics in detail and the weather across the United States. That's at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time on my YouTube channel. So we hope to see you then.